Look, man, when it comes to Joe Woods, I think it's a question of when he gets fired, not if. Either he gets fired at the end of the year or he gets fired like pretty soon here, right? But I don't think this is a question of if. I think that's answered. Ooh, all right, man. I feel like this is one where everybody's going to be able to blame everything and everybody will be kind of right. But I think it's important to know that, like, I think every phase of this game, there were parts of it where I think either the defense stepped up in some moments or they just horrendously let you down. Same thing with the offense, right? Even though the offense has literally just one example of doing that versus the defense that literally did it all game. And then the special teams, I mean, just didn't make a play all game, man. So let's get started with the offense, who I think was the least bad of today. And I don't think the offense played bad. I don't want to make it sound like that, right? The one play with Jacoby Brissett, you get a beautiful drive to get down to like the 7-yard line. You just need a field goal to go ahead. I believe there's like 3 minutes left. And Jacoby breaks the pocket. He has space to scramble for at least a couple of yards, if not get the first down or the touchdown. I don't know if he's fast enough to get the touchdown, but he is big enough to get in there. And instead of taking that, he decided that he wanted to throw it to Coop in the back in the end zone. Ends up getting picked off. Just couldn't have that, man. Can't have that. Big mistake. Put you in a terrible situation defensively. And then defensively, they stepped up in that moment. The whole game before that, the tackling was terrible. Look, man, when it comes to Joe Woods, I think it's a question of when he gets fired, not if. Either he gets fired at the end of the year or he gets fired like pretty soon here, right? But I don't think this is a question of if. I think that's answered. He's probably not going to be able to find a way back, not find a way back. He's probably going to be able to finish the year, but I think it's done. It's done for him. As far as everything else is concerned with the defense, like, is this scheme? I don't know if it's scheme, but it's clear to me that the defense needs a new voice, right? Whatever voice is going on and whatever is being said in these defensive meetings, it's just not working. They're not listening anymore. They need a new voice in the room. And if they feel like they have somebody who could step up and be that voice, sure, go ahead and be it. But I don't know who you upgrade to that spot because the other coaches, I mean, those positions haven't been great either. So I don't know who steps up in that moment. Maybe you just put Stump Mitchell back there. I'm joking. That's not a serious suggestion, but I mean, I would love if Stump Mitchell could have a bigger role on this team. But yeah, defensively, they're just missing tackles. I mean, they were out of place with the linebacking core. Linebacking has been terrible. Anthony Walker's missing has been very hurtful to this team. You can tell it's taking its toll. And I don't know if it gets better. And honestly, I don't think the defense gets better no matter what happens because you're weak interiorly. There's no fix for that. And your linebackers are just bad right now. Even JOK, he's not playing well, missing a bunch of tackles, overshooting a bunch of gaps, over eager, just not playing good football. Sione Takitaki, who's capable of more, keeps missing tackles. And then Jacob Phillips is all over the goddamn place. So I don't know what to do with that. I really don't know what to do with that defensively. It's a mess. And I don't know if firing the coach midseason helps, but I do think that at the end of the year in the offseason, I mean, if 3 years, this is what 3 years in Joe Woods' defense looks like, then we need a new defense. We wasted 3 years on this because it's not looking like it's matured. It's not looking any better. It's time to move on. It is time. It's just a matter of when, not if. Even if this looks better at the end of the year and the defense turns around, which I expect it's going to look a little bit better than this, I think we've seen enough. I think short of this team winning the Super Bowl or something crazy like that, we've seen enough. We've seen enough with Joe Woods. So, you know, it's not if, it's when with him. I think there's some other players that are probably going to be on that boat with him and be out. But yeah, that's my stance on this whole Joe Woods situation. Did I think the defense specifically cost the Browns the game this week? I would say they made enough plays in some critical situations to where you at least had a chance to win. And with as bad as this defense was playing, that's all I wanted out of them. Offensively, man, it's so hard with that one Jacoby Brissett mistake because they overperformed so much, especially in the pass game. They really did overperform. They were really good. They were really efficient. And then that one mistake comes and it ruins everything. And again, man, like, it's nice that we can get this much out of Jacoby Brissett, and it's certainly a tip of the hat to Kevin's skills as an offensive coordinator. But at the end of the day, days like today and last week are days why you want a franchise quarterback, because you just make more plays. You just make up for more mistakes when you have a franchise quarterback. And the good news for Browns fans is that a franchise quarterback is going to be here in December. The bad news is that he's not going to be here until December. We still got a whole chunk of season to play, and he ain't going to be out here for that. So it's going to be rough, man. But, you know, it's not as rough as it should be. Honestly, the offense has been carrying this team, but we didn't feel like this was a team that the offense was going to carry too much. This needed to be the defense being the better proportion of the field. And with the defense being as bad as it is, it's going to be a coin toss with every game, right? We might win some, we might lose some. The real goal here is to get to 5 or 6 wins to have a chance when Deshaun Watson gets back. But, you know, if the defense can't step it up anytime soon, that's going to be harder and harder to do. So that's the real talk with the offense. It's as good as you could want it to be. Honest to God, the offense is as good as you could want it to be. We could want Jacoby Brissett to make less mistakes, but at the end of the day, man, he's Jacoby Brissett, which means he's not going to be somebody he's not. You know, he's better than people expected, but he's not going to be Deshaun Watson. He's not going to be Justin Herbert. He's not going to be one of those guys. So, you know, I mean, offensively, I can't be that mad. Now let's talk about special teams. Now, I was very hard on Cade York in my post-game stream. I don't regret it. Like, here's what I'll say with Cade. I don't blame him for the loss against the Jets because, you know, we had a historic defensive meltdown that kind of was more at blame than Cade York in that situation. But this is, he really bailed us out against Carolina. He really did. And you can make the argument that we would be 1-3 or 1-4 if he doesn't make that field goal, and you would be right. But also you can make the argument that if he makes an extra point and he makes one of these 40 or 50-yard field goals in this game, we would be 4-1. So, or at least 3-2. So, I mean, at this point, I'm going to just say it's a clean slate. He got a game-winning field goal, and he absolutely smoked 2 opportunities to put us ahead. All right, cool. I'm going to just wash the board clean. He's going to be here for a while, so, you know, I might as well just not start the fire the kicker thing. I'm going to just have patience with him, right? Because we drafted him in the 4th round. I'm not about to waste a 4th-round pick because I got a theory, right? So it is what it is. It is what it is here. Special teams has to be so much better than they were today. Mike Prefer on that same thing with me that Joe Woods is, where I think it's time for Mike Prefer to go. Except for me personally, I think Mike Prefer can go tomorrow and you'd be better. Some of the decisions that are being made in special teams, as far as when we take the ball out, are so obvious that like the stadium boos them. Right? When we take the ball out the end zone for no reason, when we could just kneel and get to the 25, we literally boo that at the stadium. That is so bad. Like literally anybody could be you at home could be the special teams coordinator and do a better job than Mike Prefer. He needs to go. And I'm not blaming the Cade York missed field goals on Mike Prefer, but I am blaming some of the dumb field position situations we get into on the offensive side of the ball on Mike Prefer's coaching. He needs to go. I don't see the reason why he's still with the team. He needs to go. He could be gone tomorrow. We'd be better. And that's really that situation there. Nick Chubb played incredible. I mean, he was his usual self. Kevin, he had a couple of moments where the play calling was a little weird. 4th and 1 was fugly. And then you had that goal line stance where they got bailed out by a phantom a phantom pass interference call, and then they were able to play it. After that, he got a lot more simple with his play calling. I know some people are going to complain about that final drive that he threw so much, but he didn't have any timeouts. So I understand why the play calling was what it was. And maybe this is my own cynicism getting into this, but like me personally, I did not feel like Cade York was making that field goal from 30. It looked like he got absolute complete lemon booty and just smoked the kick. It wasn't a thing of like him missing it left or not having enough distance or it being too far. He just got lemon booty and missed the kick. There was nobody in pressure. Nobody got a hand on it. He got lemon booty, man. And lemon booty going to strike no matter where you at. That's why he missed the other field goal. Wherever has got Cade York lemon booty, he got to fix it, man. Because only so much lemon booty you could do even if you were a 4th round pick at the kicker position. There's only so much. I'm willing to just say whatever right now, but there is only so much. There's only so much you can deal with. So in recap, yeah, Joe Woods probably need to be gone at least by the end of the year, if not earlier than that. If the reports are true that like the team is starting to turn on him, then he needs to be gone sooner than later. Defensively, the tackling was atrocious. That's kind of a telltale sign of a team that doesn't believe in their defensive coordinator. So while that's not on Joe Woods technically, the fact that they're tackling this poorly tells me that they're not invested in what they're doing. And if they're not invested in what they're doing, then they don't believe in the coordinator. He needs to go. Offensively, I can't blame this on the offense. Like, they made the one mistake. They would have won the game there. But, I mean, like, we're really getting the most out of Jacoby Brissett in this offense. We really have. And special teams got to be better, man. Cade York can't miss 2 kicks in a game that are sub 60. He just can't. You got to make one of them. Even if it costs you the game or doesn't, you can't miss 2. You can't do that. You can't do that. Got to be better from there. That's my thoughts on this game. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you watch this video early and you want to discuss this with me in the post-game show, make sure you do. Or if you want to see more coverage of this game, check me out in the post-game show. But that's it for this video. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night.